Hey, welcome everybody. I'll be back again. Give me a second, okay? 1 second. Sorry. 1 second, everyone. That's better. Um, Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christ with the 9K Mark coming to you with another little power YouTube spectrum internet. Today is Saturday, April 12th. It is 11:30, about 11:30 to 2 o'clock in the morning. I do what they call weekend news. And, this topic: Nintendo GameStop store closings. 5060 only 8 gigabytes VRAM. 5060 Ti question VRAM. Weekend news. It's kind of light, guys. Kind of light today with the VRAM. Kind of light with the news today. That because my whole week's been pretty much busy. So usually on Saturdays I usually try to do a little bit of a little bit of less news. Now I have Nintendo on there for a reason. Only because I think Nintendo should be in there, obviously. Because it's been a hot topic for the last couple weeks, believe it or not. Real hot topic. And I think that needs to be addressed. So, what is really going on? Weekend news. Okay, store closings 2025. We're going to start off with GameStop because that's easy to people talk about a lot. Closed GameStop in January. Declining sales, traditional retail model. GameStop is closing stores and shuttering the focus due to defiant a lot of issues that are not selling crap for much. Um, how many GameStop stores are there? There's still 30,032. The total stores worldwide is 3,200, including 3235 locations in the United States. Company is significant number of almost 6,000 about 10 years ago. Um, Ryan Colman is actually the CEO of GameStop. Um, and I think that's the biggest thing of all time that needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed tremendously. I am on Newsweek right now looking at some store closing map. Hope I can get some ideas here. Stores open. There's 60 stores open. 256 in Texas. Kind of fun, understandable because Texas is the home area of GameStop. There's about 202 in California. There's only 4 in Alaska, and there's 8 in Hawaii. There's 149 in Florida, 71 in Virginia, 200 and 102 in North Carolina, 73 in Illinois, Indiana 55, 97 in Ohio, 102 in Pennsylvania, 102 in New York, 3 in Vermont, 36 in Massachusetts, 20 in Connecticut, 16 in New Hampshire, 7 in Maine. So Vermont only has 3. Washington has 52. Oregon's 28. Idaho has 14. Montana has 8. North Dakota has 7. South Dakota has 4. Nebraska has 9. Kansas has 21. 27 in Oklahoma. 18 in New Mexico. 54 in Arizona. 27 in Nevada. 20 in Utah. Arkansas has 17. Mississippi has 27. Alabama has 37. 84 in Georgia, and 49 in South Carolina. and I think that's the biggest thing that needs to be understand. Why is GameStop going through all this nonsense? Why are they having trouble with this? I think, guys, it boils down to the fact that it boils down to the biggest thing. GameStop has not changed with the times. GameStop not changed the times. GameStop will not change the times. GameStop has never changed the times. GameStop, is a niche. Like I said before, many years ago, GameStop is a niche type of company. where GameStop only sold used games because the high profit games was used games. They sold video games. GameStop was the place you go back in the day, 10 years, 15 years ago, when you wanted to be around games. Talk games, get games, buy controllers, consoles, etc., all those apply. Now, well, GameStop pretty much turned into a trinket store. Just call it trinket stop. That's really what it is now. Well, it's no longer about games anymore. The PC stuff used to be a lot bigger in GameStop. Now it's relegated to a small little corner in the back room of like it was like one of those little pervert shops where the guys with the raincoat do the five knuckle shuffle kind of thing. Uh, that's what it looks like. Like you're a PC gamer, you're kind of relegated to a damn back corner of a room. It's only just like Star Wars stuff and maybe a mouse pad mat, and that's about it. It's like pretty much giving the middle finger and say, hell, screw you. But that's the biggest people are going to now is PC because within the Nintendo Switch 2, and yes, we're going to talk about that, and the cost of gaming going to go up. We'll talk about that too as well. Um, and the cost of gaming going up. Um, um, it's hard to really. It's really hard to tell people, yeah, I go to GameStop buy a game. They're like, yeah, good for you, guy. Eh, They're like, they don't give a damn. Because people buy games at Walmart if they buy games at all. I went to Walmart today at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Granted, I should be asleep. I wasn't. And I went there, and the game section was completely empty. Nobody was there. It's a busy ass day at Walmart. Probably not around 2 o'clock. Probably around 10. But yeah, probably 2 o'clock. But still, on a Saturday, at Walmart, you want to find out where people are at, man. You got a Walmart 2% in your town. You go there at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. Place is busy. The game area, deader than a door now. 10 years ago, it would have been 20 people in that place running around. Clerks getting games, running around selling stuff. This is why Walmart's pulling out of the Xbox business too as well. They're not selling games anymore, or technically not selling games. It's a slow pullback of a lot of games that Walmart's not selling anymore, physical games. Because, i.e., why sell physical games when they can buy it online? Buy online, digital distribution. Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Nintendo Switch Online, all those apply. So, you know, the decline of GameStop is not just GameStop itself. Granted, it's a very big profit margin. It's about 99% of profit margin. Man, it's probably not 99%. Now it's probably 30% now. Some rumors, some estimates I read about a couple years ago saying, about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, saying that it means 30% of their profit margin now is games. We're back 20 years ago, or maybe even 10 years ago, 50%. 50% was part of used games. Sorry, guys. Allergies. No, I took some allergy stuff, some Zotac. No, I'm not sponsored by Zotac. I wish I was, but I'm not. New and approved. Allergy. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. It's weekend reports. So not? It's not serious news. Weekend news. Um, all news I do is serious. But anyway, it's so when Walmart doesn't have that option, they go somewhere else. That's why I sell graphics cards now. Walmart is selling graphics cards. Just as as alienating, as foreign as that to like showing a caveman a tricorder, or showing us tricorder, showing caveman fire. It's like, wow, Walmart is doing something that we never thought they would do. Because you heard of Micro Centers and you heard of all those places and the Office Depot, Office Max in Massachusetts that has test store that has all the game stuff in it. And you hear about the stuff, you think, it's never going to happen here because Best Buy had nothing, because Best Buy doesn't have anything on very long because they should come in and buy all the graphics card and leave. Walmart had 4070s for the longest time, and they still do. And they have a lot more processors now. and graphics cards now. It's like, wow, GameStop screwed the pooch on this one. They have literally let themselves fall to the wayside. What about book bags and trinkets and Funko Land and cups and glasses and anything else except what they should be selling is gaming technology. I've been saying this, guys, for years. If GameStop would stop the truck, put it in reverse, back it up, turn around, and go towards PC gaming and sell graphics, even if they sold 3090s refurbished in store, 4090s refurbished in store, something like that, gaming rigs, whatever, the profit margin would change. Probably not much right now. Maybe over time, they get people back in the graces, not rump to them and try to sell them stupid Power Rewards card and credit card crap. And I think, hey, guess what? We have PC stuff now because we don't have a Micro Center in town, nowhere in like 300 miles. Maybe you guys do, and you're very blessed if you guys do have one. But if you don't have one, GameStop can sell PC parts there, and you have a small little version of a Micro Center down the road in your house. You can go buy a RAM and go buy stuff, but they won't do that because they think it's not profitable. PC gaming has exploded in the last since 2020. PC gaming has gone up almost 65 to 78%. I've been reading an article. I think it was Forbes or whatever. Nvidia has increased profit share by almost 300 to 400%. And Nvidia is the most stingiest company in the world. They're still shipping cards out with 8 gigabytes of VRAM for crying out loud. And that will be talked about here in the video too as well, in the live stream too as well. Live stream go too. Video if you're watching later on, live stream watching now. But I do believe though that with GameStop and their path right now, they could buy bitcoins, they could buy farms for all I care. But sooner or later, they're gonna hit that wall again. They're gonna, they'll hit that downdraft. They're gonna be free falling again. And no amount of pulling up is gonna help them. And no amount of trying to buy something else is gonna help them. I think GameStop is going the way of the dodo eventually. This could be the last gasp of the GameStop as we know it. I'm not saying that GameStop is going to go belly up like a fish in the fish tank. But I'm saying that GameStop is shutting stores down. And I was told this by somebody who used to run a business. And I ran landscaping business one time. Not very long, maybe about 5 years. But healthy companies don't shut down stores. Now, they may trim stores. They may shut down a few stores that are not profitable. Maybe they once were, maybe eons ago. When dinosaurs roamed the earth, that store was doing good. Maybe 10, 15 years later, 20 years later, that store's in part of town now where it's from a slum. There's crack houses everywhere. Or it's just, undeveloped because maybe it's farmland. The farmland became industrialized and now it's no longer really profitable because the store does not cater to the clientele it used to. Not saying that every store shuts down is in the slum or some rinky dinky place. It just means that some people are not buying stuff that they should be buying, that they once bought many years ago. And I think that's probably the biggest problem today is that a lot of people out there are not buying stuff that should be buying because they don't need to buy it because they don't need to, because they don't have to buy it. Because all they have to do is go up there and just buy what they need to buy and not worry about what they don't need. That's why a lot of stores at Lowe's and Home Depot shut down sometimes because they don't have that profitability anymore. I bet Lowe's guys 20 years. They shut down stores all the time. Not saying that it's a bad thing or a good thing. No, it's not. But it happens. Things happen. You shut down stores because your company's not, that store's not doing well. But GameStop shutting stores down, that and some stores are still profitable. There's some stores that are still making tons of money, but for financial reasons, maybe with the landlord, maybe with the building rent, they just go ahead and axe them, and they don't need them anymore. These people walk in the door one day to go to work, come to find out the lock's been changed by the owner of the building, and GameStop is cleaning stuff out in the back room, and they find out, guess what? You don't have a job anymore. It's your last day, so help us pack up, and you're gone. And that has happened, guys. Or they get told nothing. They go to work. The lock's been changed. Keys have been changed. Managers in there cleaning them up, and they're told to go home. Most of them are store managers being let go that way, and they have no clue, and they're given no warning. So finding a new job for them is hard. Now they can get unemployment, maybe if if GameStop didn't put them as quitting, then you get nothing. Because unemployment, I think paid by the company. I think I don't know how it works out with the unemployment benefits. Each state's different, I think. But that does happen, folks. And then this is just something that just popped in my head, and doing live broadcast. Thank you for one person who's watching right now. I do believe that it needs to be addressed. That this stuff does happen. So GameStop guys doing this is not something that's healthy. But they've been shutting down stores for years. They had 6,000, now they have 3,200. Less that now, probably now. How healthy companies, guys, don't shut down over their 3,000 stores. And I implore again, if you work for GameStop, you might want to get your resume ready. Because if they're shutting down healthy stores and making good money, and your store's a little on the on the prefaces of not doing well, you might want to start putting in your resume to different companies, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. Hell, it's better than nothing. Because why? You can build from that. You get a job at Walmart pushing carts, and for I care, he's making good money full time. Who cares? No, it better being it's better than being full time unemployed. I mean, people up there are looking for work. They'll take part time pushing carts as long as long to pay the bills. And they can worry about the other half later on down the line. But that's something that people need to start doing. Is worrying about that kind of stuff. Now, guys, on to another topic though. Um, Nintendo Switch. Anyone to talk about here, guys? Anyone to talk about Nintendo Switch right now? What's been talked about Nintendo Switch? I talked about enough as it is, but I'm still doing research on it. And I'll tell you right now, though, that there is something happening. We're gonna see probably because now I watched RGT 85 video today. I watched the video today. Watched the video. He praised Nintendo Switch for the power it has with DLSS, NVIDIA, and VSync. That if you don't know what VSync is, it's pretty much like on PC. You can help stabilize frame rates, help lock in frame rates, helps also against screen tearing too as well. And some games have it, some games don't have it. Mario Kart World Tour probably have it. A lot of first party games might have it. Maybe third party games may have it. Some may be blessed with that. Others may be blessed at all with it. But some may be blessed with it. Others have out of it, maybe left out in the cold, depending on how they are with with the situation at hand. Um, with Switch in hand, with the situation, we could be having that issue um, with it. So I would highly implore people to really look at what they're getting into with it and not be quick to judge about it real fast, because right now there's a lot of things with Switch 2 is being coming brought to light. And a voice chat behind a paywall, I read about that. It's kind of silly. But then again, so the fact that it's been behind a paywall with Xbox for years. Um, the game's running real good, 4K 60 with optional for like performance and also a performance mode, or and I think performance mode where it can run probably at or quality mode, it can run at 1080p, 120 docked, and 4K 60 for performance. If your TV supports 4K 60, you're probably better at 4K 60, but you could run it at 1080p 120 if you get a 1080p TV, say 120 frames, 144 frame TV, or even monitor for that matter. You could run it quite well. Um, those things he talked about, and I think it was pretty cool. So again, RGT 8 or RTG 85, a lot of credit, and he's really he deep dive into it. Like I said, we all should. We all should deep dive into this stuff and not really be the first ones to start throwing out the doom and gloom, flares and throwing out the doom and gloom, grenades and running around and starting. So we should be looking at stuff more and more with a extra set of binoculars or extra set of glasses, I guess you could say, where we're looking at things differently and not just saying, okay, well, it's going to be bad, so we got to make it bad, and that's not always the case. So I got to drink soda up because it's almost midnight. No sodas are midnight, so I drink it real quick. Um, so Nintendo Switch 2 looking, the 450 price point, doesn't bug a lot of people once they realize what's under the hood. Once they realize what's powering this thing, 450 bucks becomes, yeah, it's pretty beefy. Now it's probably more of a PS4 Pro 1.5. It's probably more powerful than PS4 Pro. It's probably more powerful than the PS4 Pro, or but it's hard to really put that in consideration because it's a hybrid system. Hybrid. So if you're using it docked all the time, like I'd probably be, if I bought one, I'll bring it to work once, twice, and be it. But I'm not really a big person being will work like that with me. To work is expensive. I would probably, have it docked all the time, like I have my Switch right now docked all the time. But do I sit there and think that it's terrible to think about that? Buying one? No. I think, buying one if you're a gamer, because, Nintendo fanboys are going to buy it no matter what. And that's fine. So it's whatever. No, they're going to buy it no matter what anybody says because that's what they do. That's fine. Same as Microsoft and Sony, even like PC say this out there. And getting to the now and getting to the 56 series here in a few minutes, few moments. So my final thoughts on Nintendo Switch 2 is you can hate it, but think Nintendo stockpiled about 300 to 400,000 units because of the embargo, because it's tariffs coming up. Not embargo, the tariffs starting up. So they want to get some sales going. The games, are expensive, but game prices, guy, and this is going to tie in with the with Nintendo Switch. A few moments before I can talk about PC here. Um, it's going to be the issue that guys, games are going to increase. If GTA 5, GTA 6 is going to be $100 easy for standard edition. if it's gonna be 80 to 100 bucks, no matter what we do, people are gonna buy J6 because they'll have to because their friends are playing it. They're gonna play it. You don't wait for a sale a year later. I played J6. I played it a year ago. We'll talk about it now. They're like, no, loser, get away from us. And you're standing there and you're looking like an idiot because you took a year to buy it because you couldn't afford it right away. A lot of people are going to sell stuff to buy that game. They're going to sell consoles. They're going to sell switches. They're going to sell a lot of stuff to buy that game, and that's something that needs to be addressed. I think it would be rough that when you see $100 price tag for a base model game, and it goes up from there. So, me personally, being a PC gamer, I'm waiting because I know when it comes to PC, it's going to be cheaper and probably have a lot more DLC, a lot more stuff added to it than once was on the base console price. And you see, console people are going to flip when they realize they could have waited and got on PC and saved a lot of money, but they didn't because they had to have it right then and now. 'Cause, they had to have it right then and there, and that's fine. But in the same sense too, though, you should have waited because sometimes waiting is not bad. Sometimes waiting is not terrible. So I don't know how people feel by it, but I'm not gonna sit there and be all warm and fuzzy about it. Be all warm and fuzzy about it, knowing that the cost of gaming is gonna go up with probably GTA 6 or Nintendo's games, starting it. It's gonna happen, guys. I'm sorry. GTA 6 is gonna cost $100 easy, if not $89. It's gonna cost guys more than what it should. Like I said, my limit is $60. Yes, I bought Spider-Man 2 for $70. Probably shouldn't have. But I wanted to play off the back of people playing it. Friends aren't playing it right now anyway on PC. So go ahead and buy it. I had Steam money. Still not an excuse. Now I should know better than that. But we all make compromises in our lives. We all make decisions. We all do things. And we're going to compromise what we have to compromise because we're going to. That's just the way it is, folks. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. I'll never tell you what to do. But what I can say is, though, with the cost of gaming going up, now it becomes a game of chicken. Who's going to buck first? Because not everybody can afford to switch to $80 games. Not everybody can afford a PS5 Pro and $100 graphic divining game called GTA 6. They're not able to afford a $3,000 computer because these companies are going to start charging more money for gaming rigs now, pre-built. So, what's the cost of gaming to you? What are you willing to sacrifice to get that GTA or that Nintendo Switch 2 or that gaming rig you've been looking at? Folks, it's all about money. If you haven't figured it out by now, nothing's going to help you. Okay? Nothing's going to help you. Nothing's going to make it easier for you. Life is not simple. Life is not fair. I've been on this planet 44 years. I lost my mother back in February 28th of this year. I found out life is not fair. Life's not easy. You know what, though? I'm very grateful for the time I had with my mother, but also very grateful that, you know, she's in a better place. I don't have to worry about that. Why did I mention that? Because we're all going through life right now. You might have rent going up $70, $80. You might have more going up $100. You might have jobs saying, "Hey, guess what, man? We gotta downgrade you because we can't afford you anymore." Your boss says, "Hey, man, we gotta let you go in 30 days because company costs." That's real life issues. How much is gaming going to cost you? Because if you think you can just buy it on Game Pass and play it, it may not be on Game Pass for a couple years. GTA 5 didn't come on Game Pass for almost came out 2013. I think come on Game Pass almost 2020. That's 7 years after it first came out. No, you're gonna wait almost a decade to play a game. If you are, then God bless you. If you're gonna watch video online about it, that's cool. But I wouldn't do that because you'd be fighting to go play it. If it is what it says it's going to be. Now, GTA 6 could be a dud. It could be a Saints Row dud. It could be the most useless game that launches, for all we know. It could launch and go right into the shitter because it'd be DEI or LGBTQ or whatever the hell else you can think of. Or it could be that game that's going to win Game of the Year for the next 5 years and not anything no game can do about it. Who knows? Who knows? Because, guys, that's the thing about gaming. Games like GTA 6 and games like Helldivers 2 and games like Concord that just totally dudded out. We don't know what's going to happen. But is a game worth $80, $70, $60? How much is it worth for you? Me personally, I'm not making excuses to go buy Spider-Man 2. I made my own decisions because I had financial support at the time to do so. You may not have a house you paid for, bought 25, paid off 35. You may not have financial way to buy and pay for two cars. You may not have that financial understanding. And I get that. That's why I'm not snob. I'm not smug. I'm very blessed with what God has given me. And God has tested my patience and my resolve, which especially with passing my mother and stuff like that going on. There's things, guys, I have to do in life. I have to get up every day knowing that I can't call my mom anymore. I have to get up every day and knowing that each day I go towards away from her, I'm getting closer to her again, to see her again. Like everyone else on this planet, we all lost people. We all gained people. We all bought that gaming rig we turned on for 6 months, and the 7 months turned on, the thing fries out. Or that PS5 you bought online, you get it in the mail, and it's a piece of paper for PS5 or a bag of grass. Your heart's broken because you got had. Guys, how much is gaming worth to you? It's not worth your mother. It's not worth your bag of grass. It's not worth anything unless you make it worth something. At the end of the day, folks, gaming is just a pleasure we use to escape reality. We use gaming to escape reality to have a good time. We don't use gaming as a reason to spend $3,000 in the gaming rig or $800 on a PS5 Pro. Well, guys, last bit of news here. It is 12:01. 5060 will have 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Recordedly 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and even reported that TI version might have 8 gigabytes of VRAM as well too, and have about almost a little more CUDA cores than what it has, and the bus is 128. The placeholder's not really there. They don't know for sure what it's going to be. But guys, being truthful about it, though, no graphics card should come out with 8 gigabytes in 2025. None of them should. We shouldn't be having this conversation in 2025. 2005, 2015. Oh yeah, that's great. 'Cause games were graphically pushed in limitations, and 1080 Ti was still rocking the house at 11 gigabytes. And 8 gigabyte card, yeah, it's too less, but you can still play games decently. Now, granted, on the A and B side, they're just dumping VRAM into these games, into those cards, because they didn't have anything else. You can get a crappy GPU from AMD that runs like garbage, is underpowered, but has 16 gigabytes of VRAM. You're playing games with 2K decently because you have enough VRAM to buffer to compensate for the power. Meanwhile, NVIDIA is cheap. They're constantly skimping us. They're constantly just not willing to give us at least 10 gigabytes VRAM standard. They just don't seem to want to give us any breaks whatsoever. They feel that everybody's stupid. So you should not buy bit 60. You shouldn't buy an NVIDIA card anyway this generation. You should sit it out, wait it out, buy AMD or buy Intel, and then not worry about anything else. Because that right now, that's just how way it's going to be. I think it should be. I don't think we should be wasting money on the video right now. That's just my point whole situation. So, guys, that's my final thoughts here. Thank you guys watching my video, all 5 of you. I know some of you guys are probably busy. Once again, guys, like, subscribe, notification, ring that bell. Like, subscribe, comment down below. How do you feel about the video? And subscribe if you have to already. Subscribe if you haven't to. If you haven't, so it helps the channel a lot. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Be blessed. See you guys next time. Peace.